Hi, this is Showstream TV. We're here in South by Southwest in Austin and we're with Dani. How are you doing, Dani?
I'm good. Thanks so much for having me, Rachel. It's an absolute pleasure.
No, it's good. The pleasure's all ours. So yeah, how long have you been here?
2 days, I think. Definitely this is the second day. This is day 2. So yeah, arrived in late Sunday night, had a good sleep, played on a boat yesterday morning, and I am here.
Cool. Tell us a bit about that. How did you end up on a boat, playing on a boat?
Yeah, it was a stunning way to kick off Texas and South by Southwest. It was the Output showcase. So yeah, all of the acts from Northern Ireland were put on a cruise, and we went up and down the river, which was just gorgeous, and nothing quite like 20 degrees in the morning, and singing some folk songs in a cardigan. I chose to wear a woolen cardigan for that gig, but you can take me out of Ireland, but the wool will always remain. But yeah, really wonderful, gorgeous way to kind of kick off the week and get introduced to South by Southwest in a really gentle way.
Cool. It does sound really nice as well. I think I saw a couple of your pictures on Instagram, and yeah, it looked really nice. I did notice you packed shorts though, which is very good.
Yeah, I did. I went for a completely different look today, and I was like, yeah, this is what the Birkenstocks are for, yeah. I wasn't quite ready for the heat, but I feel so much happier for it after 2 years of none of it,
Yeah, I know exactly how you feel. It feels like it's just been still winter at home, and then you get here and it's like 30 degrees or something.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I mean, we should be doing this outside, really, Rachel. What are we thinking in here?
Cool. And what else have you got lined up whilst you're out here in South by?
Yeah, so tonight I have a showcase. My official showcase is in the Velveeta rooms at 10:30, and then I have a showcase with the British Music Embassy tomorrow at 3:15. So yeah, it's been lovely, like yesterday morning, tonight and tomorrow afternoon, so it's a nice way to schedule the week and kind of meet people in between and pop around the other showcases. I'm very fortunate to have a few friends here that I haven't seen in a number of years, and one of them will be joining me as a very special guest on the showcase this evening. So it's it's lovely to be here, lovely to be singing folk songs and songs that mean so much to me to an international audience.
Yeah, no, it does sound really nice, and I think 3 shows throughout the week sounds really nice. That's cool. If you don't mind, tell us a little bit about how did you get into music? How did you become a folk artist?
Yeah, and very good question. The answer changes every day. But yeah, no, I am very fortunate to come from a family where music and storytelling is very much at the heart of how we communicate and relate to each other, and I guess that was the space that I grew up in. But it wasn't until 10-15 years later that I started writing my own songs, and I always sang, but writing kind of came a little bit later. And writing songs for a few years, maybe playing for a few years, trying open mics, turn around a little bit, and got to do some beautiful residencies in Indonesia and Colombia, and then it was kind of coming back to myself in around 2018, really 2019, that I discovered a sense of myself in music that I'd grown up with and had my own kind of connection with it, and that's where I really kind of felt, this is what I want to express, and this is what I want to say, and there's this rich kind of background that comes with it, but who am I in that? And I'm from that, but I'm not of that, and yeah, it's all in the songs as well. So yeah, I hope that makes sense.
It does, and I'm really looking forward to your show tonight as well, so yeah, it'll be good to catch. I did watch a video of you on YouTube, I think, with the Ulster Orchestra, and that sounded pretty amazing. How did you end up with an orchestra?
That's a very good question. I'm on an epic project. That was the final project of last year for me. The Ulster Orchestra actually approached me and asked if I would consider working with them on arrangements for 3 of my songs from Notes for Maiden Warrior, the album. So I worked together with an arranger to kind of come up with the arrangements for the pieces, and had 1 day of production, 1 day of filming, and really incredible to be in a room, with an orchestra playing my music, and kind of, it took me a couple of hours to settle into it because I was just so in awe of the experience and wanting to soak it all up musically and being present, and then realising, okay, the songs are the things that comes first. And so having released that EP with the Ulster Orchestra, Between Worlds, last week, and now being able to reconnect with it and kind of enjoy it again and enjoy it while I'm out here in Texas is really special.
And how was it working with an arranger? Like, did you have to change your songs much to allow space for the orchestra, or what was that like?
Yeah, not at all, which was really incredible. The team that we were working with, they're very much focused on music first, the songs first, and then everything is built around that. So it allowed for this really beautiful relationship where there was a lot of space in that and a lot of trust in that, and had some lovely conversations. The arranger is a woman called Kathleen Flynn, and she's arranged pieces for many different orchestras and a lot of work for film and TV, and so she's worked in lots of different capacities, and for her the song comes first and then the orchestra comes after that and supports that and lifts it in different ways. And so that working relationship for me, it's all about communication, first and foremost. And so having that kind of communication with her was really stunning. And then, the rewards, I'm just so delighted that I get to listen to songs that I've written then with a full orchestra on them.
Yeah, no, it does sound really good. And I think you recently released an album, is it Notes of a Maiden Warrior? Tell us a bit about that if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So, released Notes for Maiden Warrior in June 2021. And honestly, Rachel, it's completely transformed my life. It's my debut album. Writing lots of different songs and had smaller releases before, but this was kind of my first body of work that I was like, this is something I'm not only immensely proud of but feel immensely connected to. The first half of the album is rooted in mythology and folklore, the second half is in love, and the last song is about mystery and wonder and awe. So it's kind of like this cycle and almost meditative in that you start in mythology, you move through love, and then you end in mystery, and kind of, the idea is that you keep listening to it. It was a clever idea, I must say. I have to say I'm very proud. But that completely, I think being connected to myself and the music in that way, and then seeing how people connect with that, has been immensely transformative and powerful for me, not only as an artist or a musician, but on a very fundamental level for myself and my soul. And it's the gift that keeps on giving. Every time I take a step towards it, it takes 100 steps towards me, and it's lovely to be able to share that experience with you here today as well.
Cool, I like that. And then I'm guessing you probably recorded it during the pandemic. Did you find sort of like that time in the pandemic quite good for writing and recording, or
Yeah, I actually had just finished recording it before the pandemic. I think it was the 13th of March was the final recording day. So when I think back now, it's all so bizarre, but also, of course, with hindsight and retrospect, these things seem to make sense. The album was recorded, but it wasn't mixed, so it took a couple of months then for the mixing process to kind of happen, and that was at the same time that we were all going into lockdown and trying to navigate that. And so in a sense, those songs, they were before the pandemic for me, but they really grew in that time, like having the space actually to sit with them and to reconnect with them for myself once they were recorded and written was really wonderful, because it meant then whenever I decided to release it last year, it was like, okay, well, these songs are a fundamental aspect of myself now. It's not just a very quick turnaround where it's maybe written in 6 months and touring and gigging. It's like allowing that time and space to sit with them. I did write quite a lot throughout the pandemic as well, but that's another story for another day.
For the next album, maybe.
Yeah.
Cool. And then tell us about what's next, like where are you headed after South by?
Yeah, well actually, so today is Wednesday.
If possible.
Yeah. Cool. So that must mean tomorrow is Thursday, and then Friday is I head off to Vancouver. Actually, I'm playing some shows in Canada at the weekend. Then I fly back to Ireland on Monday, and I am finishing off the end of a tour that I was starting before coming to South by, which is an incredible tour playing in stunning theatres and venues all throughout Ireland. And it's just incredible to share Notes for Maiden Warrior this way with so many people, from South by Southwest to Vancouver and Celtic Fest to back home in Ireland, finishing off that wonderful tour with Declan O'Rourke, and then I start another English tour in May. So it'll be all systems go, and it's really exciting, and only love for it all.
Cool. No, it sounds super, super exciting. And then just one last selfish question. Have you got a gig in Manchester?
Do I have a gig in Manchester? I do. And I am sure it is on the 3rd of May. Cool. Is that true? Or is that, yeah. Wow, I feel like I'm coming across as though I don't know what's going on. I definitely do. It's just the South by Southwest fever. But yeah, really looking forward. Actually, I played a show in Manchester in November and it was gorgeous, and really looking forward to getting back, looking forward to meeting people out in the road in England again. You know, now that things have opened up, it just allows for kind of a heart opening and for these songs to really, do what they're supposed to do, and hope that makes sense.
Yeah, and that was, thank you for talking to us. That was really good, thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. Have a great South by Southwest.